British Foreign Office says it has information that the Kremlin is planning to install a pro-Russian leader in Ukraine. Joining us live now is political analyst and professor at Curtin University, Joe Siracusa. Others may refer to this, Joe, good morning to you, as a puppet. What do you think?
Good morning, Pete. Well, installing a puppet government is really yesterday's news. I mean, the Red Army didn't go anywhere after the Cold War, after 1945, without installing their own governments along the way. That's pretty normal. And actually, for the British to reveal this kind of intelligence, if it were serious intelligence, it'd be a big mistake anyway. But look, Pete, there's no doubt in my mind that Russia is going to war, and the only thing that remains now is the timing and scale. The people who know these things in Washington suggest that the Russians will there'll be an air offensive in Ukraine, followed or accompanied by cyber warfare to turn off the lights, and then there's going to be a ground offensive, probably leading to a pincer movement around Kiev, and the Russians are going to pound the hell out of the place. It's quite clear NATO is not going to go to war without America, and America's not going to war. Now, look, the timing here is very interesting. There are some mysteries about Vladimir Putin, but this isn't one of them. In 2008, he attacked Georgia during the Beijing Summer Games. And in 2014, he attacked Crimea during the Sochi Winter Games. So here we got, in a couple of weeks, we've got the games, the Winter Games coming up in Beijing. So that's probably when he will strike. And it's quite clear no one's coming to the aid of Ukraine. I mean, Zelensky isn't over his head, actually. This is what happens when you put a comedian in charge of a government. It just doesn't work out very well. And today I've been watching the morning shows in America, and a number of prominent senators have gone after Biden, not because he hasn't done enough or hasn't shown enough initiative. What they're saying is he's already failed. They're referring to him and his policies as those of appeasement. I'm thinking here now of Senator Joni Ernst from Iowa on the Senate Armed Services Committee, who's now setting sort of the stage for the next election. She's going to say, this guy's an appeaser. You can't trust this guy. So the battle lines are being drawn. I think Putin has very few options here. People have been telling me, can he afford to go in? Well, I don't think he can afford not to go in because he's already committed all of his chips here. And we've got some troops on their way. It should be here in about a week to 10 days. And he's got some forces coming by Navy. And he's going to make it very clear that because he didn't get what he wanted, that was some kind of neutralization of NATO on his borders, and make sure that NATO does not enter Ukraine, or Ukraine does not become a NATO nation. Because we wouldn't recognize this. Now, I think some of this is our own fault. And Putin, of course, has a long history. And keep in mind, Ukraine didn't fall out of the sky yesterday. Ukraine was a member of the Soviet Union for 69 years and played a prominent role in the history of the Soviet Union. And there are people there who are hankering for their glory days, and they can see their future might lie in returning to some kind of arrangement with Russia. So this isn't just about a bunch of fledgling Democrats who are trying to strike out on some frontier. I mean, these are people who have a vested interest. So my prediction is that we'll have war by the first week in February. It'll be short and swift. It's unfortunate it's taken place, but diplomacy, Pete, at the end of the day, it's not about compromise. It's about using your leverage. It's about getting more than your position allows and not less than your position requires. America has not been able to stand up to Vladimir Putin except for these economic threats, and he doesn't seem too worried about that.
Joe Siracusa, talk to you soon.
Okay.